Jesus, just your overall feeling after a game that was close for the team against the Copa Libertadores champions, but you guys couldn't quite get the result.
Yeah, I think the team is a little bit frustrated because we knew that we performed very well. We believed in ourselves and we showed that we can play, I guess, the best of the best. And so we're a little frustrated with ourselves because we thought that we could have gotten more. I think that the team went out there and performed at the best of our abilities. We were good at pressing. We were good at keeping the ball. There were moments where we had the upper hand, but obviously the results says otherwise. And so I think now we learned what we did well. We learn what we did wrong, what we have to improve, and take it to the next game. I think the next two games are going to be very hard, but if we keep playing, that's all we can ask from each other, and hopefully we can get a result.
How did you feel they're playing on the right wing, and how you kind of incorporated into the overall system against Botafogo?
I felt good. I think that the system that we have kind of helps me a little bit because obviously when we have a right back that likes going out the wing and likes playing wide, then my tendency is to drift inside, and so that makes it very well for all of us. And obviously when we have two pivots that kind of go ball side and rotate the ball, then I'm obviously the outlet, and so it kind of helps us when we have a winger also that likes to be wide and likes to go 1v1. It kind of facilitates everything, and it works in our way. I think the way that we're playing right now is kind of like, we want to build to the right side. We want to facilitate the game. So then when we have our 1v1 players, Georgie, Ryan, out the wing, one-on-one, that's what they're best at, and we have to work on that. We have to use what we're good at for our own and so it's just kind of still working on that and making sure that we can use our abilities in our favor.
First game against Botafogo was a very physical affair. Did it surprise you about how physical the game got, especially in the second half?
Yeah, but we knew that in their league, they're a very physical league. I think that we kind of surprised them maybe on the tempo of the game, on the way that the game was going. A lot of up and downs, a lot of running, a lot of transition, and so I don't think that they were expecting that. I think they maybe were expecting a little slower game, but I think that's where we were hurting them the most, maybe on the pressing and the transition. And we got a couple of chances. We had chances to maybe win the game, to tie the game. But they just didn't win, and so I think that if we keep playing our style, I don't think there's a league that it demands that much physical energy from the players. The up and down, the transition, and so our team is well equipped. We have trainers that help us get into our abilities to be able to run 90 minutes, and so I think we have to use that in our favor.
17 shots in the second half of that game. How important it will be to convert these chances, especially against Atletico side that is very strong in defence?
Yeah, no, you said it very well. We have to convert, and we might not have 17 shots. We might have 5 shots. We might have 3 shots, and so we have to make sure that we're on point in front of the goal, and hopefully we can capitalize in one of those chances that we get.
What is the feeling of the team after going over film, digesting that first result so far?
I think the coach said it very well. It was a good game to review. We saw a lot of positive things that maybe after the game we weren't feeling that, or we weren't seeing that, and so it felt good to kind of like get in our minds that, okay, we can compete. We went out there and we did what we were able to do, or what we didn't know how to do, and so we almost got a result. And so obviously a little bit frustrated that we didn't get the result, because in our minds we thought that the game was in our hand. I think in the first half there was a couple of chances, periods of times where we were the upper hand, we were the better team, but obviously Botafogo took care of business, and in our box they scored their chances. I don't think that they had many clear ones, except the one maybe in the 89th minute where we did a giveaway from our mistake. But mistakes happen, and then that's why we have players that can come up. Steph made a great save, and then Jackson makes a tackle after that. And so I don't think they had many clear chances, but they took care of the chances they had. And so I think that was maybe the little difference between them and us. So my shot that went a little bit wide, maybe if I would have scored that, I think maybe changes the little things. We had a couple chances, maybe the one with Albert, the one with Pepo, and so we were in those spots, and I think that's the most important part, is just being in those positions, getting those opportunities to score goals, and now we just have to make sure that we're sharp in front of the goal.
how do you prepare when you're facing a team that, we have to be honest, is over your weight class almost, right? I mean, you have World Cup champions in DePaul, in Alvarez, Koke UEFA champion. I mean, it's got to be difficult. It's got to be different than anything you've ever done. If you prepare to face a team of this magnitude.
I think that yes, but at the same time we made the tournament as they did, and we're both here in the same group, and so I think that we can have that mindset of, okay, they're in La Liga, they have World Cup champions. Yes, we all have respect for them, but at the same time we have to respect ourselves and show that we are capable of playing the same game. The game is with one ball, and so if we can keep the ball, if we can take care of our chances, anything can happen. Maybe they don't show up, or maybe they do. And so it's a matter of us working on ourselves, keeping positive in ourselves, knowing that and believing in our team. I think that's the most thing. I think the 11 and the I don't know how big the roster is, the 20 or the 25 man roster, believing in ourselves, making sure that we're all together, maybe making sure that we can keep ourselves accountable, making sure that we all run for each other. And I think that that's going to be the best thing to face these type of teams where they play Champions League, they play all these important games, but we have the collectiveness, and so making sure that we can go out there and take care of business as a collective, I think that's going to be our biggest strength.
How are you feeling personally ahead of this game? Your first performance was quite strong. You troubled the defender quite a lot. How do you feel going into this game?
I think good mentally. I think that you as a personal stand, you want to make sure that you have the best performance that you can possibly. I think that against Botafogo, I did a good job. Now it's just mentally taking care of my body, making sure that whatever coach decides to do next, I'll be prepared. If it's me starting or me coming off the bench, just making sure that I can take care of my body, so when I come in, I can perform and just do what I know how to do and help the team in any way possible.
As a forward player, a lot of the time the focus is on goals, but a lot of the hard work, especially for you, is done off the ball and creating. How are you enjoying that role, especially going against opposition? Once again, that's very, very good in defence.
Yeah, I think it's different, like you said. I think, like you said, a lot of nines are judged more about scoring goals, but I think I'm not like the typical nine who is the top guy that they send the ball and you hold off. I think I'm more of a creator too, and so for me, it's just making sure that if the goals aren't coming, I said it many times, is if the goals aren't coming, then making sure that my pressing is on point, that my assisting is on point, my passes are on point, and making sure that my off the ball movement is on point. And so those are things that I can control. Because the goals, if I get the ball in front of the goal, then that's when I can control it. But getting the ball in front of the goal, that's when I don't control it. And so making sure that my running is on point, that's stuff that I can control, and just keep improving on that and helping the team in any way possible.
How important did the fans play into that? The second half against Botafogo, it was a great turn-up from the fans, and you could hear them. Does that give you more energy to press in those hard moments?
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the things that Coach said was make sure that we involve fans. I think that we're at home. We have a great fan base that supports us every weekend, and we pack our stadium. And so making sure that the other teams hear us. I don't think there's another MLS team that has a fan base like us that are heard, that are loud, that are chanting throughout the whole game. And so we have to take advantage of that. I know that in the beginning of the game, that in the anthem when we were lined up, we see Botafogo's fans, Botafogo's players looking at our fans and shaking their head like, wow, like this is not expected. And so making sure that we involve the fans in any way possible, if that's putting the first tackle, if that's making runs and pressing, stealing the ball, or anything of that sort, making sure that they're involved so they can feel the game also, because it's important. It's their first time in a Club World Cup. It's our first time in a Club World Cup, and so it's exciting.
Jesús, ¿cómo describirías la atmósfera del primer partido y el debut del equipo aquí en casa ante el campeón de Copa Libertadores?
Muy contento, creo primero de todo, pero un poquito frustrado con el resultado. Sabemos que el equipo hizo un buen papel, hizo un buen partido, nos planteamos muy bien. Creo que en momentos del partido estuvimos mejores que ellos, pero creo que Botafogo aprovechó las oportunidades que tenían y el resultado se nota. Creo que nosotros tuvimos bastantes chances para poder empatar o ganar el partido, pero no se dio, y ahora tenemos que aprovechar, aprender de este partido, ver qué hicimos bien, ver qué hicimos mal y arreglarlo para el próximo partido.
¿Qué tanta confianza le otorga al equipo y a ti mismo que lograron poner un equipo de esa categoría contra su propia línea, que ganaron por completo el segundo tiempo para lo que se viene ante Atlético de Madrid?
Sí, creo que la media no esperaba eso de nosotros. Creo que esperaba un poquito, de pronto un poquito partido diferente, y nosotros vemos eso. Creo que el equipo está en una parte contento por el partido que hicimos. Creo que representamos a la liga, a nuestro club muy bien. Creo que, como usted lo dijo, pudimos jugar contra un equipo muy fuerte, con un historial muy grande, y se notó que nos faltaba un poquito al frente del gol. Creo que eso viene con tiempo, pero sabemos que en este torneo de pronto tengamos 2, 3 chances, oportunidades para poder hacer gol, y la tenemos que hacer. Y ahora es aprender, prepararnos lo mejor físicamente, mentalmente para un partido que se viene muy duro, y aprovechar la oportunidad. Creo que Albert lo dijo muy bien antes del partido, es ser feliz en estos momentos, porque esos momentos nunca vienen muy de seguido. Entonces es aprovechar el momento, jugar con libertad, que creo que eso nos ayudó bastante.
¿Cuál es la clave para sacar un resultado ante un equipo lleno de estrellas como lo tiene Atlético de Madrid?
Creo que jugar como unidad, creo que jugar como un equipo. Creo que el equipo está bien junto, corremos juntos, hacemos gol juntos, no hacen gol juntos, y tenemos que seguir juntos. Creo que es lo más importante para poder sacar un resultado. Creo que, como lo dijo, es un equipo de Champions, un equipo con estrellas, y sabemos que tenemos que ser un equipo para poder ganar estos partidos, y creo que el equipo que tenemos va a pelear por cada uno de nosotros, va a pelear por el resultado y va a pelear por la camisa. Entonces creo que estamos en un buen momento ahorita mismo para seguir aprendiendo, seguir mejorando, y ojalá sacamos el resultado.
¿Qué les mostró el partido ante PSG 4-0 ante Atlético? ¿Les demostró alguna clase de debilidad del equipo? ¿O qué les dio a ustedes cuando estudiaron el video de ese partido?
No, creo que cada partido es diferente. Sabemos que ellos vienen de temporadas muy largas. Creo que el profe nos dijo que hay jugadores que jugaron 54 partidos, 53 partidos. Entonces creo que, como lo dije antes, esta liga de nosotros es muy exigente en el arriba, abajo, muchas corridas, muchas transiciones, y creo que eso de pronto nos ayuda en este partido, donde de pronto en la liga de ellos es más posesión, más que maestría, y en la liga de nosotros es más correr, atacar, defender, y un partido abierto que de pronto nos ayuden de pronto en transición, porque sabemos que ellos son un equipo muy bueno en defensa. Cuando se plantean en una línea de 5-3-2 o 4-4-2, es muy difícil de partirlos. Ellos tienen bastante energía, entonces de pronto usar nuestras transiciones, nuestras corridas, nuestra forma de jugar en nuestra liga para poder fatigarlos y de pronto abrir espacios para nosotros.
Gracias.